Hi, this is John Patrick Hickey. I want to thank you for joining me for this video cast. You hear me talk a lot about positive thinking because I believe that our attitude is the key to our life. That the better your attitude, the better your life. It doesn't matter where you are in life, what you have, what you don't have, what your health is like, what your finances are like. Doesn't matter. If you have a strong, positive attitude, an attitude that has a can-do belief system in it, you will have a better life. But positive thinking isn't always the key thing. I think that there's something even beyond positive thinking, and that's called right thinking. What is right thinking? Right thinking is exactly that. It's thinking the things that are right. If you keep your thoughts focused on the right things, then you can keep all the wrong things out of there. You see, people get that confused and they think, okay, I got to make sure that I don't think about these things because they're wrong. Well, don't try to stop yourself. It's like telling someone, okay, do not think about the color blue. Now, what are you thinking about? The color blue. And you will continue throughout the day to think about the color blue. But the thing is to always look at what is the right thing to think about. Don't worry about fighting something that doesn't matter. You see, in a way, what right thinking does is it emphasizes the wrong thinking that we might do. It takes away its power. It takes away its ability. You know, there are things that we can really fight against, or we can help put into a proper perspective simply by ignoring them. There are negative people in this world. That's no newsflash, I'm sure. But I'll tell you one of the things I do with social media. There have been certain people who are just, you just see them and you feel bad. You feel angry, or you feel disgusted, or you feel threatened by them. That they're just nasty people. You know, I mean, it happens. I'm not here to criticize everybody else, but I mean, that's just a reality. There are people who just have no place in our life. As a success-minded, positive person, we have no room for them. Now, on social media, you'll often find these people's pictures popping up all over the place. Their picture, their name, something about them. Even people who feel that they are not the people who you want to be around, their criticism will still bring their name up. What I usually do is, if that person exists, I just hide them. Anything. I don't just defriend someone because they talk about it. I'm not talking or attacking the people who post things. But the picture itself, the comment itself, I just hide it. It's not on my wall. I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to see anything that has to do with something that is going to cause that kind of a negative reaction. Because to me, they do not exist. I choose that in my life, they do not exist. I ignore them and move them aside. Now, some people will criticize that, saying, well, just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean that you can just dismiss them. Yes, it does. It does. You have the right to believe anything you want. You have the right to say anything you want. I have the right not to listen to you. I mean, it goes both ways. You have to understand that. It isn't, freedom of speech does not require me to listen to you. I'm not stopping anybody from saying anything. I'm not doing anything at all that is going to hinder someone's free speech rights. But I do not have to listen to them. And it's that easy. People go and they protest and get all upset and want to boycott things. And, You know, if a company does something that you don't like, don't try to boycott. Boycotts mean nothing. They're silly. They really are silly. If you don't want to do business, don't do business. Period. That's it. It's all over. If you don't want to talk to somebody, if you don't want to listen to what they have to say because it's negative, and you know what? There's a principle here that is important. Don't carry on arguments with foolish people. Mark Twain said, never argue with a fool because soon people will not be able to tell the difference. And that's the truth. If you argue with an unreasonable person, what are you going to get? Frustrated. You're going to get angry, you're going to get frustrated, and pretty soon you sound just as foolish as they do. You don't need to argue certain things. You can find someone, if someone is just totally unreasonable. Now, I know a lot of people who disagree with things that I think, and I disagree with them. Lifestyles are different, our philosophies are different, our spiritual beliefs are different, whatever. And yet I can have perfectly good relationships with them. I can have good discussions. Matter of fact, our changing of opinion on each other is something that can be stimulating and exciting and helps you to think and process things. But if someone is unreasonable, if you know their desire is not to pass on understanding, it's just to prove that you're wrong, then don't waste your time. You're not going to achieve anything. All you're going to do is just add to the negativity. Just close things off and leave it at that. You have to be able to stop the nonsense that goes on in your life and around you. And sometimes the only way to make it stop is just to ignore it. Ignoring things is not a bad thing. It helps. I mean, Scripture speaks about it in many places, that you just don't argue with a foolish person, because it's only going to lead you into something that you don't want to do, or it's a person who you don't want to be. Keep yourself open. Keep yourself thinking right. Focus your thoughts. Think right. Good to be stimulated. It's good to have differences of opinion. It's good to have people who believe differently than you do, because it just sharpens what you truly believe. But again, people who are unreasonable are just unreasonable, and you don't have to bother that. Keep your thoughts right. And while you're doing all of that, always be your best. Love God, have good manners, discover the unknown, and change your world. Hi, this is John Patrick Hickey again. I want to thank you for spending time watching the video cast. I do hope that these add value to you, that they encourage you, that they give you principles and information that you can use in your everyday life. That's our purpose for being here. The Growth Center was designed and created in order to help you to become the very best that you were created to be, to fulfill all of those dreams and desires that you've had, to accomplish your goals and your dreams. Now, I also want to encourage you to get other material besides this video cast, which, by the way, if right below here, you're going to see a little button that's called subscribe. I do hope that you subscribe to this video cast so that regularly when we put these up, you'll be notified and you can watch them. But I also want you to go over to the website, which is at www.johnpatrickhickey.com. There you're going to find books and other materials to help you to grow and to continue to pursue those goals. Again, that's www.johnpatrickhickey.com. And thank you again for joining us.